Well, welcome back. We are ready to finish hooking things up. As you can see, I got the pickup. It's all put in. I did some preliminary work off screen on these switches because it requires this terminal number 3 here on the switch to be grounded, and so I just ran a little wire from here over to there, soldered it good and solid, and then I did the same thing over here. So that part is done. All I need to do is hook up the various and sundry wires from the pickups. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the bridge pickup, mostly for logistical reasons, because it's going to go to this switch, and so I've got it routed through here, and getting to this one first is going to be a little easier. What I have to do, we have various and sundry colored wires here. This black one, that's the hot wire. That one actually goes to the pickup switch. The green and bare here are ground wires. And then we have the red and white connected here, and that's the one that goes to the switch. So how does this work? Well, a humbucker consists of 2 separate coils. Basically, it's 2 single coil pickups put together. Their polarities are backwards to each other in terms of the magnets, because the idea is for them to cancel out noise, things like buzz, hum, and that sort of thing, hence the name humbucker. And so what we have here, the black wire, is our main output. That's what's actually going to pump sound out to the amplifier. Now, the red and white wires actually connect these 2 coils together, which means that we have one continuous loop here, and the other side of the second coil goes to the ground and completes the circuit. So, what happens when you flip the switch? It simply takes this connection here and grounds it. So it cuts the second coil out of the loop completely, and it may as well not even be there. It doesn't hurt anything, it just means it's not getting any electricity. But that is how this works. And it's pretty brilliant, I have to tell you. So, let's get this done. Obviously, I'm going to have to cut this. It's just a mite long for the task at hand, and so what I want to do is I want to give myself plenty of room to be able to reach the switch and then everything else. So it looks to me like that is going to be sufficient. So we'll go ahead, clip it there. Once I make my decision like that, I have a tendency to leave another 1/4 inch of space just because I don't trust myself. And so now I'm going to use my X-Acto knife, and I'm going to split the outer insulation, I hope. Okay, it started there. Good enough. I poked myself in the finger, so that must mean it's sufficient. Alright. I'm going to peel this back a little bit more, because I'm going to need a little room to work with. So I have a space here. And I am bleeding. Be right back. Okay, we're back. You know, there is one sure way that I know this project is going to be a success. You know how? I drew blood. When I draw blood, the project is usually a success. So, that is encouraging, believe it or not. Now, I need to peel this back a bit more because I've got to reach one set over here and another over there. And they aren't going to reach yet. So, I'll need to split this a bit more. See if I can do it without hurting myself this time. I already drew the requisite blood, so hopefully we've got that part over with. You know, for being a super sharp knife, this thing doesn't seem very sharp, but that should do the job. Peel this shielding off of here. Yeah. By the way, I'm experimenting with a different camera angle that I'm hoping will allow you to actually see what I'm doing and not just look at my hand all the time. Editing the previous videos, I noticed that stuff disappears behind my big mitts, so I'm trying to fix that. You can let me know if I was successful. Alright, so we got red and white. They're going to go over there. Probably the green and bear also. And that still needs to reach to there, which means I need a little bit more. Well, you know, this is why I do it this way. I can minimize the amount of material I have to remove, and that's a good thing in case I ever decide to change the configuration of this or something like that. So we will give it a tad more here. That's probably going to be excessive, but yeah, in this instance it's a bit like God's grace. Too much is better than not enough. So, alright, go ahead and clip off that leftover insulation there, and we should be ready to get to soldering. So, I'm going to go ahead and start with the grounding. I'm going to sneak all this right through here between those blue wires. Black wire will go to the number 1 lug, which is the closest, so I'm not too worried about that. Right now, let's go ahead and put the green and bare ones in place on this grounding spot. So, I have put any number of items here, as I'm sure you can see. But that's the nice thing about it. All you need is a connection. It doesn't have to be pretty or fancy. All it needs to do is conduct electricity. So, and stay where you put it. Okay, there we are. So now, the red and white ones, I don't know how well you can see, but this hole here is marked C2, and that's where they need to go. So we will poke these guys through there, get them soldered in place. Again, if I can keep my hand out of the way, maybe you can actually see me do this. At the same time, this stuff seems to want to run away. So, but there we are. Okay, we're in. So now I just got to solder it into place. which is going to be a little tricky because all I can see on this side is insulation. So we'll try doing this from the back. Maybe we'll try it from the front. Okay, yeah. Trying to do these little tiny solder joints in these itty bitty spaces. Maybe an exercise in self-abuse, I'm not totally sure. But the potential is definitely there. All right. That's all hooked up. So, this one goes in there. All I gotta do is get it to bend the right direction, so it will. Like that. Okay. Make it solid. Good grief. Alright, that was weird. I'm sure you saw that my soldering tip fell out of the iron. It just sets in there by pressure. There isn't a whole lot holding it, and I don't really understand the thinking behind that. But you can see how much my hand's shaking too. I started to say, but I am so pleased with the instrument overall, I generally tend to overlook that. Alright, I'm going to have to bend the lower part of that so it stays put. Like that. If you're thinking, that looks like a dental probe, it is. Very handy for this kind of work. If you do this stuff, get your hands on one. You'll be surprised how much you use it. Alright, let's try this again. Shaky hands and all. Alright. Okay, the lug is warming up. There we go. Alright. That's exactly how I wanted it. Good enough. Now, the middle pickup is already connected here, so I just need a clear path to that one so I can hook up the neck pickup. So let's do that. Now, as I mentioned, this one has to go down the middle of the cavity. And so I'm going to get some more of my little masking or duct tape here and get it in place. Like that. Now, I may have a problem here, but we'll see when I go to put it in. I do have a couple of ways I can fix that if necessary. So, for now, let's just get these guys fastened down a little better. Don't be so cheap with the tape, Irving. Oh, sorry. I forgot. When I'm doing this, I'm Dave. So, yeah, Irving does the reviews. And you know, it's funny. I call the channel Irving Zoo because originally there were supposed to be several of us. My daughters were going to do this with me. I'm the only one who really stuck with it. My my youngest daughter is now doing My Little Pony videos. She goes by Fauna Joy. You can find her on YouTube. And my oldest, yeah, she is painting and sculpting now. So, and I mean, she's good. So, with that all finished there, I'm going to go ahead and put this solid into the pick guard. I'm going to go ahead and mount it since I'm all done working with it. And that the idea is mainly to keep it from flopping around when I'm doing other stuff. So, this nut is giving me trouble, you can probably tell. But there it is. Okay. All right. One down. One to go. We're almost there. Now, I have to make a decision here. I don't think I need to cut this. I think what I can do is I can wrap it around like this and reach everything, and that way I don't have to make any cuts and do any fresh stripping or anything like that. So that's the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to have to turn this around like that. I'm also keeping this piece of paper here so things are more visible. I hope it's helping. So step one is going to be the ground wires. Now, the good thing about that is I can put them right here. I can put them right there on the switch on one of its grounding lugs. And it's right there handy, so I don't have to go very far, and I shouldn't need to peel anything. Let's find out. I'll attach those ground wires first. Move that over so I can see. You know, I think I'm going to go ahead and go this way just because I have a feeling I'm going to want that extra length to play with while I'm doing this. Then I can figure out how to make it pretty later. So we will do it that way. All right. First, these guys go right there. So working with this stuff is always an adventure. I think it's part of the reason I enjoy soldering so much, because a lot of things can happen. All right, that's done. Now the black one needs to attach to lug number 3 up here. You know, I am going to have to peel a little bit because I'm not going to be able to reach C3 over there. Then again, maybe I can. By golly, looks like I can. Okay. Well then, I'm going to go ahead and hook that one up first. And I may as well try to make it easy on myself, even though it appears it's not going to work. Okay, never mind. Alrighty, so these guys are going to go... No, I'm going to peel it a little bit more, just so I don't leave myself in a mess. Alrighty. Make a little cut there, poke myself again. Good grief. Trust me, it's an ADD thing, folks. Alrighty. And now I can't get a hold of it to pull it back. Like that. So, yeah. Alright. You know something? That hurts. Okay. Put these together again. I'm still bleeding. Alright. Got the bandage over that one. Now, let's see if we can actually do this. Alright. Twist those together. They poke. Okay, yeah, just trying to get as much room as I can here. Yeah. Somebody in the house is talking on Discord. And by the way, patrons, haven't heard from you on Discord. Let me know if I need to send you the link again, because I'd really love to hear from you. So, I will send that link out again, just in case. And come on over. Let's talk. All right. I hate it when they do that. Okay, bend it over so it stays. Good enough. All right, let's do this again. So, you know, learning how to do this reminds me of how I learned computers. You know how I learned computers? I got myself a computer and sat down and tried to see how many ways I could screw it up. Because if I screwed it up, that meant I had to know how to fix it. And so, I mean, it's kind of a dumb approach, but it worked for me. All right, hook our hot wire to lug number 3 here. That's not lug number 3. This is. And we will solder that in. Okay. All this excess, I'm just going to tuck it over there. Out of the way. Something like that. Now, I can put this back in. Move that far away from me. I don't need to burn myself besides poking holes in myself. So, alrighty. It goes right there. Okay. That looks a lot cleaner than it did before. I'm rather pleased with the appearance of the wiring now. So, we have the switches that are operational. By the way, what fell there was a retractable magnet. Thankfully, I haven't had to use it today. And that's it. That's it. The pickups are in. The switches are in. Everything is all set. All right. I'm going to put another piece of tape right here just to keep that in place. So, the next step is going to be to put it back in the guitar and test it. I will, needless to say, refrain from screwing everything down until I'm sure it all works. But honestly, I don't foresee any issues. I double checked all my connections and everything, where things go, where they don't go. In all, so all I need to do is put it in and hook up the jack, and let's see what happens.